phenomenal night, day, honey, wherever you are. Okay. If not, do understand and get that your day night is going to.
Mom, are you on the TV?
No, go ahead. Tell Javon to turn that TV down. If your day night is not going the way you want it to go, do understand that it will change once you change. Okay. Everything is perception. Everything is perception. Everything is perception. So, one of the goals I had on my list tonight, well, today, was for me to read this book, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel. And I talked to you guys about this book a few times, okay? If you are having some issues in a relationship department, okay? And it doesn't only have to be an intimate relationship. It could be, pick that up. What was that? It can be a relationship with, you know, parents, any type of relationship. I highly, highly recommend you get this book, okay? The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel. Now, I'm going to read what it says, okay? The mastery of love. Everything is there for us, but first we need to have the courage to open our eyes, to use the truth, and to see what really is. Humans are so blind, and they are blind because they don't want to see. Let's look at an example. A young woman meets a man, and she feels a strong attraction for him right away. Her hormones go all her hormones go all the way up, and she just wants the man. All her girlfriends can see what this man is. He's on drugs. Look, MT, okay? You said that you liked it, and maybe Don Miguel is talking about you. Okay. He's on drugs. He's not working. He's got all those traits that make a woman suffer so much. But she sees him, and what does she see? She only sees what she wants to see. She sees that she sees that he's tall, he's handsome, he's strong, he's charming. She creates this image of the man and tries to deny what she doesn't want to see. She lies to herself. She really wants to believe the relationship will work. The girlfriends say, but he's on drugs, girl. Well, they didn't say girl, but I had to put a little twist to it, okay? The girlfriend says, but he's on drugs. He's an alcoholic. He's not even working. She says, yes, but my love is going to change him. I don't know how many times we get into relationships and it all comes from settling. Okay. You settle and you feel like that you are going to change this person from the way that they are. Let me tell you something. Okay. You cannot change anyone. And it is a full time job changing your damn self. Okay? All right? And as long as you feeling like, hey, I'm going to make y'all go to bed. As long as you are feeling like, I am going to change this person, I am going to make this person into what I see for them, right? I see potential in them. And I see that they are capable and they can do more. I don't care what you may see in them, okay? If they don't see it within themselves, it's just not going to work, okay? Now, some people may change, okay? People do change, but you have to ask yourself, are you going to keep on settling, or are you going to start doing the work on yourself that way that you can attract something better? Okay? Because we all have to remember and understand that the people we are attracting are just reflectors of us. Okay? They are just reflectors of us. Okay? She lies to herself. She really wants to believe the relationship will work. Oh, I read that part. She says, yes, but my love is going to change him. Of course, her mother hates the man, and the father does too. Her parents are worried about her. Oh, okay, Jada. All right, love you. Okay. Um, you coming over tomorrow? I don't know if she heard me. I appreciate that, Bentley. Okay, her parents are worried about her because they can see where she is going. They say this is not a good man for you. The young woman says, you are telling me what to do. She goes against mom and against dad to follow her hormones. And she lies to herself, trying to justify her choices. It's my life, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Months later, the relationship brings her back to reality. The truth starts coming out, and she blames the man for what she didn't want to see before. There's no respect, there's a lot of abuse, but now her pride is more important. How can she go back home when mom and dad were right? That that will only give them satisfaction. How long will it take for this woman to learn the lesson? How much does she love herself? What is the limit of her self abuse? All that suffering occurs because we don't want to see when it is so clear before our eyes. Even when we meet someone, he tries to pretend to be the best he can be, even with that false mask. He cannot avoid presenting the lack of love, the lack of respect he has. But we don't want to see it, and we don't want to hear it. That is why an ancient prophet once said, there is no worse blind man than the one who doesn't want to see. There is no worse deaf man than the one who doesn't want to hear. And there is no worse madman than the one who doesn't want to understand. We are so blind. We really are. And we pay for that. But if we open our eyes and see life as it is, we can avoid a lot of emotional pain. It doesn't mean we don't take a risk. We are alive and we need to take risks. And if we fail, so what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. We learn and we move on without judgment. We don't need to judge. We don't need to blame or feel guilt. We just need to accept our truth and intend a new beginning. If we can see ourselves the way we are, that is the first step towards self acceptance, towards stopping the self rejection. Once we are able to accept ourselves just the way we are, everything can start changing from that point forward. Everyone has a price, and life respects that price. But that price is not measured in dollars or in gold. It is measured in love. More than that, it is measured in self love. How much you love yourself. That is your price. And life respects the price. When you love yourself, your price is very high, which means your tolerance for self abuse is very low. It's very low because you respect yourself. You like yourself the way you are. And this makes your price higher. If you don't like things about yourself, the price is a little lower. Sometimes the self judgment is so strong that people need to be numb just to be with themselves. If you don't like a person, you can walk away from that person If you don't like a group of people, you can walk away from those people. But if you don't like yourself, it doesn't matter where you go. You are right there. To avoid being with yourself, you need to take something to numb you, to take your mind away from yourself. Perhaps some alcohol is going to help. Perhaps some drugs will help. Perhaps eating. Just eat, eat, eat. The self abuse can get much worse. There are people who really feel self hatred. They are self destructive, killing themselves little by little because they don't have the courage to kill themselves fast. If you observe self destructive people, you will see they attract people just like them. What do we do if we don't like ourselves? We try to get numb with alcohol to forget our suffering. That's the excuse we use. Where are we going to get alcohol? We go to a bar to drink, and guess who's going to be there? People just like us who try to avoid themselves who also try to get numb. We get numb together, we start talking about our suffering, and we understand each other very well. Trauma bonding. We even start to enjoy it. We understand each other perfectly because we vibrate in the same frequency. We are both being self destructive. Then I hurt you, you hurt me. A perfect relationship in hell. What happens when you change for whatever reason? You no longer need the alcohol. It's okay now to be with yourself and you really enjoy it. You no longer drink, but you have the same friends and everyone's drinking. They get numb, they start getting happier, but you can clearly see that their happiness is not real. What they call happiness is a rebellion against their own emotional pain. And their happiness, they are so hurt that they have fun hurting other people and hurting themselves. Okay. So to the ones with the comments, okay, all right. And this is why I study. This is exactly why I study. Okay. Okay, shall we proceed? Okay. Oh, I use burp bees for my teeth. I don't feel like getting up to show you it. Kiki. But you know what? 1 second.
You get up to get it, Mama?
Yeah. So I use this. That's what I use. All right. Mama, turn it down. Okay. You no longer fit in, and of course, they resent you because you are no longer like them. Hey, you are rejecting me because you no longer drink with me, because you don't get high with me. Now you have to make a choice. You can step back, or you can go to another level of frequency and meet people who finally accept themselves like you do. You find there is another realm of reality, a new way of relationships, and you no longer accept certain kinds of abuse. If you guys don't have this book, and like I said in the beginning, if you keep going through these relationships and you don't understand like why you keep on meeting the same exact person, like yeah, of course, they physicalities are different, okay, but they traits are one and the same. It is because what you have programmed in your subconscious mind. It is because what you have seen growing up. And if you don't change you, I can almost guarantee you that next year, next month, next week, your next relationship is going to be like your previous one. The reason being is because there's laws in this universe, and you guys hear me say this all the time, and the laws don't change. They are just as it gets dark at night, you can bet your bottom dollar that you will attract the same exact person. And the next chapter it says sex, the biggest demon in hell. Okay? So make sure you guys, if you want, you always do what works for you. Okay? You always do what works for you. But one thing I could assure you is this. If you don't study, your life is going to continuously be the same. Why? Because you have a tape going on in your subconscious mind that keeps playing the same exact thing over and over again. You ever wonder, like, sometimes you may say, oh, I'm not going to do this no more. And then you find yourself doing it again. It's the programming. It's the programming. And so if you don't start understanding that, oh, I can change this, but first I have to acknowledge it. You got to acknowledge whatever it is. And let me tell you something else. In order for you to go somewhere different, you have to first see exactly where you are and tell yourself the truth, like exactly where you are, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you may be facing. Okay, let me tell you something. There's no obstacle that is bigger than you. Okay, and all obstacles are opportunities, and that's how you have to start seeing your life, because you have the ability to change your life. You do not have to do the same exact thing. You are not sentenced to this here life of hell. Okay? And hell is not a destination. It's a frequency. Is your mind. Okay? So you can keep on living in hell, or you can start living in heaven. And when I say heaven, of course I'm talking about mindset. Okay? But the choice is yours. And you have to ask yourself, am I willing to make that change? And if you're willing to make the change, guess what? Your life will start changing. But you have to show up for you. And you have to believe in you. And so, until next time, most likely tomorrow, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you're rocking out, believing in yourselves. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.